what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm trying to get my, I want to present myself in a way because I think it's very possible that the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, will watch the Georgia Hour. I do. I think it's possible. I think it's the president will watch the Georgia Hour. I think maybe the VP will watch the Georgia Hour. I think Attorney General in Georgia, Chris Carr, will watch the Georgia Hour. I even think Josh McCoon, the chairman, may go as far as watching the Georgia Hour today. Yes, I think so. All right. I'm just thinking it could happen. Yesterday, our first case. Now, I'm in Georgia. Hi, how are you? Maybe I should introduce myself to the new viewers. I am your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Now, at 10 o'clock will be the Georgia Hour. Now, we have an attorney general. His name is Chris Carr, and he is running for governor. He wants to be the next governor of Georgia. But he has a little problem. It's called the base of the party in Georgia. At 10 o'clock, we're going to cover that. Because here's his chance. We served him something right up yesterday. It's like, here you go. There you go. Now, this is going to be I'm like, how did this show, well, I think today and tomorrow will be just, bam, earth-shattering. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. Now, hi, Diane. I don't know if I said hello. How are you? David Cross will be with us at 10:30 this morning. David Cross will be with us. He presented SB. It's on the screen. Give me number 52. Yesterday, he presented this case. Now, as you can see, December 9th, 2025. Now, the SEB 2022, that's the year. That's the year. This case was filed and it was put in the queue. The Secretary of State of Georgia's office gave it an SB 2022-015. That's how old this case is. Actually started working. It is we're going to 2026. just a couple more days. They've been working on this case for 5 years. Yes, 5 years. But yesterday, it finally got in front. It's been buried on purpose. Well, I use the word on purpose, but it got buried. And yesterday, Dr. Janice Johnston, the vice chair who chaired the Georgia State Election Board, brought it forward. And this is the first case in the 2020 election. I'm serious, first case in the 2020 election referred to the Attorney General of the state of Georgia. Yes, that happened yesterday. Now, we may have a second one, because as America well knows, we call it the Joe Rossi case, SEB 2023-025. They will be opening that case back up today. I'm hoping this will be our second referral to the Attorney General of the state of Georgia. So David Cross will be with us. Now, this is what you're upset about, and I'm going to get into it. Give me, this was 9/30/2020. This is President Trump, video 12.
Did you go for a coup? Did you go for a coup? I don't remember. I'll tell you, we caught him cold. It's about time that something happens, okay? It's about time that something happens. It's enough. We got plenty of information on these crooks, bunch of crooks. Thing like that's never happened in the history of our country, and it's about time that something happens.
Now, take that down, Diane. This case, we're going to talk about this, the Georgia Hour. Yes, the Georgia Hour. So, I'm just telling you right now, that's why right there you're upset. That's why you're upset with me. That's why you're upset with Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's why you're upset in general. That's why you're upset with Pam Bondi. And that is probably the main reason the fracture, the crack started after inauguration of President Trump. And to me, they're all blown apart now. It's right there. Because we had 2020, they stole an election. We had the 4 years that the auto pin was working. And now we're on day 325 of the Trump administration. And you and I know, I went to a Christmas party last night. Yes. In fact, let me give them a shout out. Pickens County, Georgia. What a great group of people. I mean, if you could, in America, I know we're on sea to shining sea. You could look up Pickens County, Georgia, all the way across this country. And they had a Christmas party, and we had this one big, really long table. And I have to tell you, when you sit down at a table, now you go to a Christmas party, there's a bunch of tables, and you pick who you want to sit with, right? You go to one of those parties where, it's really big, and there's, 8 seats at a table, and you look around and I'll sit at that table, right? Because you're breaking bread. And I don't know about you, but most of the time when you're sitting down to have a meal, you want to have a meal, everyone at that table, and I mean, this was a long table. Everyone at that table just, I sat at the end of the table and I looked down the table and I was like, wow, just amazing people. Well, anyhow, this guy looks at me last night, Diane, he said, do you think we'll ever put anyone in jail? So he said, do you think we will ever put anyone in jail? I don't know. And then you're upset with me. Yes, you are. I got the messages and I appreciate them. they're helpful in me figuring out where some things stand. But I got some messages, and you're upset that I play the clips from the alphabet media. But keep in mind, Larry Ellison's son, David Ellison, is trying to purchase said alphabet media. I mean, if we are going to call them fake news and we're going to run them out of town and we're going to shut them down, then why are they... Look at this. Let me just show you something here. 88 and then 89. And then go to 90, and we'll leave it there because, yes, you're upset with me. I know, and I'm going to tell you in a minute. We're going to go over it. But here's the Warner Brothers, right, HBO, Netflix deal, and that would include CNN, 82.7. Paramount, number 89, has up. Now look at the billions, right? Paramount, which is CBS, has up to CBS to control CNN, 108 billion.4. I mean, that's a lot of carrots, folks. That's a lot of carrots. Yes. $108 billion. Holy smoke. I mean, what's the return on investment? Controlling the media? What's the return on investment over there at Disney? Controlling the narrative? What's the return on investment over there, right, at NBC? I mean, come on. We did not wipe them off the face of the map. We didn't. We were told we were going to. We were told we were ending them. But all of them, the money is increasing. They're shifting gears. I'm just saying, right? And here you go, number 90. And what you're upset with, and we'll get into it in a minute, because I study politics. And this is David Ellison, Larry Ellison's son. Now, this is David Ellison. And you know, there's an old expression, and because Emery Roy, one of Charlie's kids here in Georgia, one of the children's, Emery Roy called me an old man. She did. That's really hurt my feelings. But she said, go pound sand, old man. Well, look at the old man here, number 83. Here's the old man controlling the world. This is David Ellison. This is January 21st. There's an old expression from an old man here. You've been taken to the cleaners. You have. You've been taken to the cleaners. I try to lay out what's coming down the road, right? I try to lay that out. I'm not attacking Republicans. Corruption is corruption, whether you wear a D or an R on your sweater, period. And I'm not going to change. Well, recently, it seems like you're doing all the Democrat talking points. No, I'm delivering you the Democrat talking points. Every single thing that I'm showing you right now, especially this week, write these 5 shows, Monday through Friday, in a book, and get ready to come back and flip them out and say, whoa. Now, right here, that's Larry Ellison in the red tie. Now, I think, is he in his 80s? And there's a man at the podium. He's 79 years old. Now, still got my pen, got my Trump watch, all right? So before everybody gets all bent out of shape, he's 79 years old. It's January 21st. It's Larry Ellison, Sam Altman, SoftBank. You are so tired of that picture. Now give me 90. The guy in the red tie, this is his son, David Ellison. So there's an attempt to continue. We have not broke down that narrative from the deep state, corporate, corrupt Mockingbird media. We have not broke that narrative down. They are running that deep state CIA Mockingbird media narrative. They're running in this lane, while the X account that we have, thank God that Elon Musk put X up there, but our side is blown all that. I mean, they're throwing bombs at each other left and right. You don't know what to believe over there. So take that down. We'll talk about that. Now, this is so interesting to me. And I can't get past Georgia for just a minute. Give me number 27 and then 28 and then 27. We'll go backwards here. That's what we'll do. We'll go backwards. And here's number 28. The price isn't right. Instacart secretly charged different people more for food from the same store. AI being used to nickel and dime us for everything, number 27. Now, this company, and I went and I was reading here, this company, Price is Wrong, Instacart, is charging different prices to different customers on the same items in the same stores. A bombshell study. Groundwork, a consumer advocacy group, said Instacart's pricing algorithm could lead to shoppers forking over an extra $1,200 on groceries each year. Now, everything from here on out, everything. Now, they trained you. When I say train, yes, I'm not a circus monkey. Well, okay, you're not a circus monkey, but just, a little monkey business. Because they trained you. I'm not some monkey in the zoo. They trained you during COVID. Yes, they did. Now, I don't know if all of you do it, but there's a lot of you using, the Grubhub. What's that? Or sending food to the door, someone bringing it to you. There's a lot of you now putting the food you want into orders online. There's a lot of you ordering now to pick up. There's a lot of you across America. You've got the Chick-fil-A app and you're all excited that your little chicken sandwich is ready when you get there. It's just great, right? You got that. They know how many times you eat a chicken sandwich a week. And they also know to take that chicken sandwich and translate it into your shopping cart. Everything. They know, all right, so we became online Walmart shoppers during the pandemic. They did that on purpose, right? I mean, how many of you shop online, whether it's Target, Walmart, whoever, and pick up later? And you get, when you go online, you get a message from them, an alert. Are you out of mayonnaise? Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking. Are you out of mayonnaise? Because you haven't put that in the cart in 2 months. So it knows what you're eating. It knows your dietary habits. It knows how much fast food, where you're going. You're out. You are an algorithm. You are data. And they turned you into it just like that. Like a trained seal going, no, can't do it. But they know. They know you want those Cheerios, even if this time they go up a quarter. That's right. Now, Trump's trying to tell you affordability's not there, but just saying. So take that down. Now, I'm going to go to break, but before I come back, this is going to happen. I got to show you something. Trump was in the Poconos last night in Pennsylvania. I'm going to be asking you some questions on the other side of this break. But give me video elections. Give me video 2. This is going to disturb you because it's one of those videos you don't like. Video 2.
That could, help them in the future.
And significant and notable that he would win Dade County because it's sort of emblematic of the reshaping of the Florida political landscape, given that Dade used to be a Democratic stronghold regularly relied upon by Hillary Clinton and others. I also think if we're reading tea leaves, and look, nothing is a perfect science for this because the midterms aren't really yet to be seen until we actually see how voters vote. But I did get a text message last night about a House district in Georgia, a special election there, a candidate who had lost by double digits, then coming up and winning, a Democrat there. So again, as we're watching sort of specific plot points and putting them on a graph, the fact that you're seeing places in Florida, Randy Fine's district, for example, winning, Republicans winning there, but their margins cut in half. The same thing in Tennessee. There's something brewing. What it ultimately lends to, I think none of us know until we know. But it is fascinating to watch where the momentum is going into a very high.
Was that video 2? I have to make sure. Did I just talk about video? Was that video 2? Make sure I called the right one.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so yesterday we had 2 special elections in Georgia. And as you well know, our PSC race. Now, I'm going to put this up for a reason. Give me, first of all, yesterday, they are making a big deal out of what? And I have it here. I'll get to it. Give me number. That's not the one. Here it is. Give me number 119. So the mayor of Miami, and they're all excited because this is the first time in 30 years, right? Miami elects first Democrat mayor in nearly 30 years. And that's there you go down there in Florida, right? First Democrat mayor in 30 years right there in Florida. Now, Joe Gruder, is that his name? The RNC chair? Where's he from? Florida. So, is this a sound the alarm? Or do we ignore it? Or is the media just making something out of nothing going into 2026? The second one I want to show you is right here in Georgia. So give me number 33. This is number 33. Georgia Democrats flip Republican State House in Athens. Okay. In Athens area. Athens area. Oh, that's where Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, lives. And Marty, the 2 governors. Well, that's where Brian, Marty, and the girls live. Athens, Georgia. Georgia Democrats continue to gather momentum. Well, you're reading from the AJC. Interesting. It's almost like the AJC has been helping turn the ball all along. And who would have thunk it other than... I'm a thunker, all right. Georgia Democrats continue to gather momentum ahead of next year's midterm elections, flipping a solidly red state house seat in a special election on Tuesday to represent parts of Oconee and Clark County. 10th District. 10th District. Where? What's in the 10th District in Watkinsville? That's the 10th District where Congressman that's running for Senate Mike Collins represents. That's the 10th District. This is House District 121. This is the 10th District where Brian Kemp, right? The governor and his wife, the governor Nis, She's the woman governor in Georgia. This is where they live, right? And this is a district. Now, our chairman in the Georgia Republican Party, well, we can't find him, but he might say it's a one-off. It's a one-off. Now, we did find our chairman, Josh McCoon, of the Georgia Republican Party, what was it, last week when he was in a Democrat district? Well, that's usually where you can find him, surrounded by Democrats, right? Rusty Paul, is that his name? Won the mayor's race in Sandy Springs because he is basically he's a Democrat. He was over there cheering for that last week. But right here, we can't find him. Now, this is a House district. Remember the state PSC races. All right. And we'll get into that. We're going to go deeper in the Georgia hour. Give me 37. This was a tight race, right? This is State House Representative District 121. So now here's a couple things for the national, because we're going to do this again in the Georgia hour. Eric Geisler, the Democrat, has just a notch away from 51%. Now, Mark Dutch guessed the fourth, the Republican who lost here. Keep this in mind. Go ahead and give me 34 so the people can see. Now, Eric Geisler is on the left, and Dutch. Now, another thing, Dutch was endorsed by Brian Kemp, the governor. I mean, we're going to put this all about. If you're out there from sea to shining sea, Georgia is a friggin' political shithole right now, and I am tired of getting looked at like I've done something when I have the tape. I have the tape for damn years where I have laid out what's going on politically in the state of Georgia, and the problem we have is we do not get our message out, and we have damn Democrats with an R on their chest running our damn state. And Republicans want a Republican to vote for. And in fact, independents want a Republican with true Republican values to vote for. And we can keep control as Republicans of our state of Georgia. But every time we turn around, it dwindles and it shrinks because of people at the top like Brian Kemp. That's just what I think. That's what I was thinking. That's what just came to mind. Because here's what gets me. Is why what you got the governor, right? You got Greater Georgia, right? Isn't that Kelly Loeffler? I mean, we got this right here. We had two PSC races, right? Got our asses handed to us, Democrats, statewide. This race right here, District 121, Eric Geisler ran last time. And I think he got 31%. This is a district. Oh, wait a minute. Let me pause. Well, this was a special election. This was a one-off. Why, if this election would have been held any other time, damn it, it's one of the only ones that was on the books. You could have sent everybody. Joe Gruder could have come up here from Florida and campaigned. The RNC chair. Right? Jason Thompson. Instead of everybody up there backslapping, each other in Washington, D.C., and seeing who can take a picture in front of the damn Christmas tree, you could have been helping saving the state. Greater Georgia, Kelly Loeffler's $1 billion, organization, you guys could have been over here. Boom. Charlie's kids, you could have sent all the kids. Every damn kid you could have sent here. Everyone. Josh, every damn one of you. You could have even called that fat ass from South Georgia, Dennis Futch, and asked, excuse me, Mom, I'm sorry, that was inappropriate. That portly, chubby guy with glasses down there named Dennis Futch, you could have called him up there. You see, this is a district that went 61% Republican last time. The Republican resigned the seat. This is a special election. I've said over and over in Georgia, why we can't fix these elections. Now, we have been waiting because you always start out with what? A jungle primary in Georgia? We've been waiting for that Democrat to flip that seat. And we're only 10 away from losing control of the state majority, I think it is. But no. All hands on deck last night. Where was everybody? Sally Grubhub, first vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party. Where the hell were you? Were you over there? I don't know. Maybe you've been there for 3 weeks knocking on doors. Maybe you have. We are not getting our message out. This happened in Georgia last night. A House district that went 61% Republican last time. You know, if he would have won, if Dutch would have won by 2%, and Democrats were talking this morning, you know, that they shaved a couple points off, I would be on here right now saying, you know what? They're just trying to run a narrative. They're just trying to make it look good for them. I would come on here and say, look, it's a special election. Instead of 61, he won 52%. Not a big deal, and it would not be a big deal. But flipping a district right now, after 2 PSC races go to Democrats in Georgia, after in a very red district, Cherokee County, Georgia, 5 precincts have flipped to blue, after we had a state Senate race where a Republican that basically never has a challenger in their race, a Democrat was in there and was competitive. We'll be back after these brief messages.
It's Santa's final clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save up to $10,000 off 2025 Chevy Suburbans or up to $8,000 off Chevy Tahoes. But hurry, Santa's final clearance will be gone in a flash. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we put the days in the holidays.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com at 10:30 this morning. David Cross will be with us at 10:30. He made a presentation to the Georgia State Election Board in case SEB 2022-015. He made that presentation yesterday, and that case has been sent to the Attorney General. If you generally watch the Georgia Hour, tune in early. I might have to go a little early on the Georgia Hour to get everything in, because we have some elections that took place last night. We've got to cover this case. Try to get people to tune in at 9:30 instead of 10 o'clock for the Georgia Hour. If you come in at 10 o'clock, you might miss some things. We've got an action pack now. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lay out, I'm not here, and I've said this before, and if you're new to the show, there's days I don't want to come in because I've got to look you in the eye and say, this is what's going on. This is what's developing. Here is, I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. Give me number one. But it's brewing, okay? I could see the dark clouds. I could see the media, what they're turning. They never talk about a positive thing in the economy, nothing positive whatsoever. Now, I have concerns in 2026 because for my children, especially my grandchildren, I'm like, we have all the evidence. We know the CIA. We know the deep state. We know the alphabet media, as you call them, the Mockingbird. We know what to do first. But in 325 days, Trump has been in office. Biden was there. Biden left just a pile of crap like you would not believe on the desk. I get that. The inflation, America gets what the inflation was. We get that. We get you inherited X, Y, and Z. We get that. But as a candidate and as a president for one term, you see, the people in America, they remember that first Trump administration as far as the economy. And then you went through America saying, vote for me, I will return that, and you made promises. It doesn't matter what name. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to say, oh, that was Donald J. Trump. But no matter who, people in America, a candidate made promises to the American people. Now, it takes a lot to turn around the mess they made. You got $1 billion worth of theft in Minnesota with Somalians. You've got billions of dollars of theft. Scott Bessent said he had to turn this economy back to a capitalist, right? A capitalist economy, a true market, open market economy in America. That's not easy. But what you can't do is you cannot act as though it's done. You can't go and act as though it's all going the right way. Now, when Trump ran the very first time in 2016, I said to people, all right, you know what? this guy is a New York City billionaire. This guy knows money, and he's been around money. But someone, I said this, someone has him connected to the flyover states. Someone has him connected to Middle America. Someone has him connected to Western Pennsylvania, the Pocono Mountains. Someone has him connected to the realities that are going on, and they're doing a good job because Trump campaigned as though he understood America no matter where he was at. Then, after it was stolen, he campaigned a second time. He already had his base. Now, don't forget, this is a guy who said, what did he say? He said, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue if people would still support me. And he hasn't shot anyone, but he's been shot at. Now, don't forget, number 4, these are, if you're doing well, that's great. If you're doing well, that's great. If you're doing exceptionally well, that's great. But these are the people that's doing really well in this second Trump administration. They're doing really well, and they came on board. Now, you don't like her. Number 13, you don't like her. And I was speaking with someone from D.C. the other night, and I don't know if this is all a plan. I really don't. I don't know if it's all a plan. But you don't like MTG, and that's her boyfriend, Brian Glenn. And Brian Glenn happens to have press credentials, and Brian Glenn actually is in the Oval Office asking the president questions. In fact, Brian Glenn is the guy that asked Zelensky that day before the contentious Oval Office meeting. So why don't you wear a suit? You know, why you come to see the president of the United States? Couldn't you get in the closet? You've stolen $1 billion, my words. Couldn't you get a suit? So you don't like her. But she is saying things that resonates with people. Now, the other thing, take that down, all right? The other thing is, she is talking about number 26. If you read this, because if you've been mad, you're going to probably be mad when we're done here with this segment. But if you read this, I put it on the screen. Your city, your county, your state, your school board. The greatest impact. America first. So, politicians are out there right now. They're a nervous wreck. And I'm going to tell you why. If someone stands up in the room and says, are you MAGA? Are you America first? Are you both? Do you agree with MTG or do you agree with Donald J. Trump? Every politician across the country is walking in a room sweating that could be the questions, take that down, in front of them when they walk in. You can't be anti-America first. Give me video 13.
Are you MAGA?
I am America first.
And that's not the same as MAGA.
MAGA is President Trump's phrase. That's his political policies. I call myself America first.
But you're not saying you're MAGA.
I'm America first. Yep.
All right, now, Donald Trump, and I told you this is, y'all, let's get angry at BKP, because Donald Trump has somehow decided, and I don't know if Susie Wiles, I don't know if anybody could talk to him. Now, when MTG says he's angry, I have not watched an interview with him or heard him take very many questions that he doesn't have a little edge. Now, the edge he has right? Now, they don't like Mike Johnson. Give me number 85. We're going to go through this because women, for some reason, Donald Trump is participating into women don't vote for me. GOP rep Nancy Mace lashes out. Pelosi was a more effective. I showed you this yesterday, 86, 87. Yesterday I showed you this, right? Now, here's the hard truth Republicans don't want to hear. Nancy Pelosi. So go ahead and give me the next one. And Pelosi understood no majority is permanent. Now, let's go to 102. You got to do something, folks. You got to do something. Somebody, Mike Johnson is a weasel. Donald Trump is Speaker of the House. We're not getting really anywhere we need to be. I played you earlier. We've got all the evidence. We've caught him at everything. Nancy Mace blasts GOP leadership, Mike Johnson, in an op-ed. All right. 103, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Johnson sidelines GOP women and don't take us serious. Number 104, why Mike Johnson is miserable. Many House Republicans are furious. 105. Now she's over at CNN. Go ahead, throw stuff at the chat TV. Text me ugly messages. Write what you want. Oh, I can't believe you are promoting MTG on CNN. No, Elise Stefanik, a woman, is in New York running for governor. Doesn't care for Mike Johnson. Nancy Mace, South Carolina, does not care for Mike Johnson. MTG does not care for Mike Johnson. I think if you look close enough, what's the young lady out in Colorado? Bobart probably doesn't care. Here is Rep. Mace vents frustration with House GOP leaders in op-ed arguing they're marginalizing women. Now, you got to put all this together. All of it together. Because women are more interested in their nutrition for their children right here at home at the grocery store. Women are more interested in the security at the school while their children are there throughout the day. Will they make it home okay? Women are more interested in the health and well-being of their children from medical care, vaccines. Women are more interested in what social media apps or AI may be talking their kids into suicide. Women are much more interested in cyberbullying their children. You want to go on and on and on? Because let me tell you what, most women, no matter how mad you get, they don't give a rat's ass about 8 wars. They don't. So every time you say we ended 8 wars, you got it? And every time, because most of these shoes come from Vietnam, right? Cambodia. Look at the shoes. How many Nikes, whatever. A lot of the shoes come from those areas of the world, and the tariffs or whatever has been placed on those shoes. So I don't agree with $200 tennis shoes, sneakers. I don't know what they're called today. But if you take a parent that's been buying a pair of shoes for $100 and now paying $122, and you keep telling them you ended 8 wars, they're like, oh, okay. Well, I got 4 kids. They all want cleats. I got 4 kids. They all want sneakers for basketball. I got 4 kids. Most of our sporting equipment is manufactured now in other countries. And you cannot tell the American people you're building a $300 million ballroom and then look and say, you maybe don't need 29 dolls. Well, I have 4 granddaughters. I don't know how many dolls they have, but if they got 29, maybe they want 30. Maybe they do. You can't build a $300 million ballroom and look at the women and men and the parents across this country and tell them how many pencils and how many dolls they should have. I'm going to tell you the biggest fear. You're going to hate me. You're going to hate me, but you're marking down today. Oh my God, he told us the damn truth. The biggest fear Republicans have after last night of Trump being in the Poconos in Pennsylvania is, oh my God, what happens if he wants to campaign for me? What will he say when he goes on stage? Because we're going to get to that in a minute. You can hate MTG. I'm not telling you to like MTG. You can call her names. 111. 115. Trump claims economic success. We're bringing prices down. 116. This is what they're running, the narrative. 117. Trump defends tariffs as he launches economic tour. You can give up certain products. You can give up pencils. So we're to cut back, right? We're to wait for everything to kick in. If you would go on national TV when you took office, it said, I'm going to show you what the plan is. I've often said, to make all the corrections we have to make in America, I've often said on the show, people are not ready. They're not ready. They're not going to. 118, Washington Post, at the first stop on his affordability tour, Trump mocks affordability. And he did. He did. He mocked affordability. Well, that's something the Democrats came up with. That is true. But you are the one in office. Joe Biden wasn't in office. We don't know who the hell that guy was. I'm not joking. We don't know. We had a committee that ran the country for 4 years. We call it the deep state. Call it Susan Rice. We call it Lisa Monaco. Well, the list goes on, right? We don't know who the old guy was wandering around. And Jill Biden, I don't know. Maybe she was busy writing a book. I don't know. But you're the guy in office. You're the guy that made promises to people. You promised a certain group of people would go to jail. You promised a certain group of people mass deportations. Get them out of here. You're now the Chiron, number 120. Layoffs are rising. Fed expected to cut interest rates today. Okay, going to get interest rates cut. Now, this is going to be so friggin' old. 122. Grocery prices up from a year ago. Now, when he says prices are down, if I'm just going to throw something out here, so don't argue and say I pay this, I pay this. That's not the argument. Toilet tissue, $10. We'll go with $10. Okay, it went up during Biden's administration from $10 to $16. Now, it's not probably going up in Trump's administration from 16 to 20, and it might be $15.25. Maybe. But you see, People remember it was 10. And whether you accept it or not, the American people were looking for you to get it back to 10. Well, you can't put that kind of... He can't do that. Okay, but he campaigned. And he led people to believe that, whether you're mad or not. Coffee, 41%. I will never forget, and you're tired of this, the day I text a congressman, my congressman, and said, hey, coffee, coffee. I knew they were going to do this. Sirloin steak, electric and gas bills. Does anyone out there not believe that with all these data centers and AI and the federal government wanting to take it all over under a federal umbrella with no state regulations, that our gas and electric bills are not going to go through the roof? Give me 123. Trump touts economy, says prices are falling, right? 124. Trump touts economy, says prices are falling. Yes. Gas at the pump is coming down. It is coming down. And that is helpful. It may make a difference in the future. And I'll tell you why. Because you take fiberglass insulation. They have to make block buys for the furnaces. And you take the fuel it costs to transport products in semi-trucks. I mean, this could be something that maybe 2026, this could help bring down prices in areas. 125, Trump's handling of the cost of living. I'm just saying, okay? 126, Trump veers from economy to insults during the speech. Now, what he was supposed to do at the speech, this speech is in Pennsylvania. Why Pocono, Pennsylvania? Why Pocono Mountain, Pennsylvania? A couple reasons. Number one, small venue. Small venue, right? So it's Trump country. It is Trump country. Number 9. Here are the reasons he went there. 0 to 4% of margin. PA 7. Right below the Pocono Mountains. Right below the Pocono Mountains. Right? Northampton, Lehigh, and Carbon County. PA 7. McKinsey only won by like 0.5%. All right? Perry, 10. PA 10. Surrounding Pocono Mountains, under 4%. There's 3 in Pennsylvania. Then you have Brennahan. PA 8, Stroudsburg. Up there next to Camelback Ski Resort, Pocono, Mount Pocono. 7, 8, and 10. Now, this is Trump country. It is. Small venue, so they wouldn't have to go through any possible embarrassment that people didn't show up, right? That's true. Didn't have to. So they packed the house. They got local news. But instead of Trump going up there for 90 minutes and talking about what 2026 will be and how they've been working to turn this around, he veers off. And he doesn't even take it serious. All right? Give me video 1.
They have a new word. You know, they always have a hoax. The new word is affordability. So they look at the camera and they say, this election is all about affordability. Now, they never talk about it. And I can't say affordability hoax because I agree the prices were too high. So I can't go to hoax because they'll misconstrue that. But they use the word affordability. And that's their only word. They say, affordability. And everyone says, oh, that must mean Trump has high prices. No, our prices are coming down tremendously. We didn't have tariffs, you would have no steel. We wouldn't have one steel mill anywhere in the United States. And that would be really bad for, Scott, national security. We need, the one thing you need steel. You know, you can give up certain products. You can give up pencils. Because under the China policy, you know, every child can get 37 pencils. They only need one or two. You know, they don't need that many. But you always need steel. You don't need $37 for your daughter. 2 or 3 is nice, but you don't need $37. After just 10 months, our border is secure, our spirit is restored, inflation is stopped, wages are up, prices are down, our nation is strong, America is respected again, and the United States is back.
He could have taken that. And look, I know you're going to be angry at me. I know you are. I mean, I keep saying it, but you don't build a $300 million ballroom, number 4, backslap and dine with Mark Zuckerberg, go to the Pocono Mountains and tell the people up there in that area, I know that area, it's rural area, it's working class people. I have to tell you, going and campaigning on steel in Pennsylvania is a thing of the past. It really is. And tell people you don't need $2, you don't need maybe $2 or $3, and get rid of your pencils. That's why I stocked up before, Trump took all my pencils. Look at that. Let's see if I have how many I got here. He said I could only have 32. Take that down, Diane. Look at this. He said I could have, how many did he say I could have? Right there's a couple more. I was worried Trump would put tariffs on them. I got to clean all that up now. I'm just telling you, every politician, one more. We'll do one more and we'll take a break. Give me video 4.
I do want to talk about the economy, sir, here at home, and I wonder what grade you would give
A plus.
A plus.
Yeah, A plus, 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 plus. What you have to understand, the word affordability. I inherited a mess. I inherited a total mess. Prices were at an all-time high. When I came in, prices are coming down substantially. Energy has come down incredibly. When energy comes down, everything, because it's so much bigger than any other subject, but energy has come down incredibly. Prices are all coming down. It's been 10 months. It's amazing what we've done.
Give me number 93. Folks, you've been taken to the cleaners. We got rolled. Now, we had to put in a $12 billion farm aid. Farmers are really struggling. 94. Farmers have been struggling all year, right? This is National Review. The proper solution to farmers' financial woes in 2025 is the same as it was in 2018. This is what they're saying. End the tariffs. Instead, the Trump administration has chosen to paint over the problem with a $12 billion bailout. All right, 95. Farmers have indeed had a terrible year. Crop prices have been depressed by the largest harvest on record. And farm bankruptcies have increased by nearly 50% last year. But Trump's tariffs have made farmers' plight much worse, simultaneously driving crop prices down and input prices up. I mean, let me see if there's anything else I want here. '96. Tariffs on building materials drive up the cost of home construction, as do mass deportations of hard-to-replace construction workers, guest workers, programs. All right, now let me just say this. All right, I got no problem with trying to balance with Canada. But we buy a lot of chemicals from around the world that we don't produce. All right? We cannot produce certain chemicals, and the inspections and the factories and what we have to do in our country to produce certain chemicals, it's so expensive. Seriously. So we import a lot of chemicals from around the world that's manufactured in other places. And I'll tell you this, we fight with Canada, but an enormous amount of polyisoanurates come in through Canada. Now, what is that? People like energy efficiency. And a lot of people are spraying now their houses with foam insulation, fiberglasses, not taking a back seat, but foam insulation. They're doing their attics. They're doing their crawl space, whatever. Those chemicals, the majority of those chemicals are coming out of Canada. It's going through the roof. It's costing a fortune. So if you thought you could spray your attic for, $6,000-$7,000 or something, I don't know. Instead of $6,700, it's $8,900 or $9,500. But this is happening, and you can't just keep saying A+, A+. Now, even 97, Newt Gingrich knows better. Newt Gingrich knows better. Any Republican who refuses to admit we have an affordability problem is not listening to the American people. Newt Gingrich. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. I am on your side. Take a break.
It's Santa's final clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save up to $10,000 off 2025 Chevy Suburbans or up to $8,000 off Chevy Tahoes. But hurry, Santa's final clearance will be gone in a flash. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we put the days in the holidays.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. 10 o'clock, the Georgia hour. You don't want to miss it, because I'll tell you why. We have 2 cases, and we have our first case referred to from Fulton County 2020 elections, referred to the Georgia Attorney General, Chris Carr. We're going to discuss that. We got some highlights for you. That's at 10. At 10:30, David Cross, who brought the complaint before the state election board, will be with us to explain and go in great detail what he presented yesterday to the state election board. Dr. Janice Johnston vice chair who chaired the meeting. We'll talk about that. 10 o'clock. Don't miss the Georgia Hour. Call your friends. All right. Now, so I've said this right here. I've said it. And you know it. You know I said it. We are looking at 2026, and Republicans are running scared. Mike Johnson is not Speaker of the House. Donald Trump is actually Speaker of the House. Okay. And you know as well as I do, number 51, that Donald Trump between now and November of 2026 cannot show weakness. He cannot show weakness. Something has to turn around. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. 91. I gave you the wrong number. Sorry, Diane. 91. Donald Trump absolutely cannot show any weakness at all. They can't let any, now if they do, so put this as we're studying, if the Trump administration removes anyone, this is why they're working so hard to get her. Now, Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, they must feel, I don't think we can move them as easily as we can move Botox Barbie here. All right. Yes, I think they feel they can move her out. So they're working on this one, and they're definitely working on Pete Hegseth. With the Venezuelan or the boat strikes in the Caribbean and off the Pacific. They're working on Pete Hegseth. If they could get a cabinet member or two, and they could get get people to start have confirmation hearings to go on TV, weakness before midterm. So they're trying to create before midterm Trump administration weakness. Now, my problem is I don't know why the president, what I can see, is helping. Right? Well, hey, by the way, what happened to that Epstein file? You remember that? I mean, everything is a show. What happened to the Epstein file? I was just wondering. I mean, it was all a brouhaha, and I thought that sucker was coming out. Boom. So take that down. Now, you're upset with MTG. I get it. Loud and clear. She says she's not running for any more offices. She may have gotten a job with CNN. But MTG is doing a good job, 111 and 113, of selling people, maybe not you, that she is concerned and aware of what you're going through. Go to the next one, 113. MTG is doing a good job. Now, let's go through the things. Video 3. Let's go through the stuff that you can't stand. Video 3.
Meanwhile, is criticizing House Speaker Mike Johnson, claiming he sidelines Republican women. Look at what she said yesterday on CNN.
It is extremely frustrating as a rank and file Republican member in our majority, our Republican majority, that many of us women are not taken seriously and our legislation is not taken seriously.
Why do you think that Johnson says he is the biggest champion of women? And do you think that there could be more defections, particularly a revolt, as Wolf said, among women in the GOP?
Well, you're seeing it. I don't know how he can speak out of one side of his mouth, but his actions, for fully show the hypocrisy. You're seeing Republican women lash out directly at the speaker because he sidelines us and doesn't take us seriously.
All right. So we know without Trump on the ballot, they have to figure out how to put Trump on the ballot. They do. Because Trump not on the ballot and just send out that endorsement and he or she will do a great job, you can trust them, is not working. So Pennsylvania was a 2026 test. They went up, safe zone, Mount Pocono, Trump supporters. It was a pretty safe test because they need Trump on the campaign trail. You see, they need this percent, which is the percent of people in America, no matter if Trump shoots someone on Fifth Avenue, they'll go vote for him again. They need those people to come back to the poll and vote, even though Trump's not on the ballot. Whether you like me or not, that's the facts. Second, Republicans are a nervous wreck. Oh, they are. They're flat out a nervous wreck. They don't know if they want Trump in their district. They're not going to tell you this. They say things behind his back all the time. They don't know what he's going to say when he gets on stage. If he goes up there and tells mothers not to buy their daughters baby dolls, they're a nervous wreck. They got to have Trump. They need Trump to bring out the Trump vote. Yes, they do. They got to bring out the base. What will he say? What will he say?
In addition to what we just heard there, President Trump posted yesterday that you are, quote, and I'm quoting him now, not America first or MAGA, and your, quote, new views are those of a very dumb person. That's the President of the United States speaking about you. What's your response to these latest attacks?
Well, actually, Wolf, I feel very sorry for President Trump. I genuinely do. It has to be a hard place for someone that is constantly so hateful and puts so much vitriol, name calling, and really tells lies about people in order to try to get his way or win some kind of fight. And I think that's exactly what's wrong in America today. That's what's wrong in this toxic political environment that has ripped our country apart. And I personally think that that's poor leadership from a president. It's a very bad demeanor, and Americans are very tired of it.
Oh, hell. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. Oh, hell. This is gonna be tough. Now, what if a politician walks into a room today and someone stands up in a Republican primary and says, I've got a question for you. Are you America first or are you MAGA? Do you support Donald Trump or MTG? I could see, I see politicians all the time. I go to places all the time. I see politicians get out of the car, right? They got their little video guy or gal with them that comes in, hands out the push cards, videos, takes some pictures. Great time tonight being with you at this blah, blah, blah. I can see a politician like, do you see me sweating? Yes. Wipe that off. Give me video 8.
Heard there. President Trump posted yesterday that you are, quote, and I'm quoting him now, not America first or MAGA, and your, quote, new views are those of a very dumb person. That's the President of the United States speaking about you. What's your response to these latest attacks?
Well, actually, Wolf, I feel very sorry for President Trump. I
thought that was a different one, Diane. That's me. Give me video 9. Sorry about that. Video 9.
Because when I hear him talk like that about you and insult you and attack you like that, I worry about your security and your family's security. And you've been getting some increasing threats, right?
Yes, and that's what I take so seriously. I, as a Christian, I'm not angry at the president. It's easy for me to say a prayer for him and forgive him. But the part that I have had a very hard time with is the fact that he called me a traitor. And because of his words, that brought serious threats against myself and my family. We had a pipe bomb threat on my home, a pipe bomb threat on my family construction company and staff.
Video 11.
If you don't share our values, contribute to our economy, and assimilate into our society, then we don't want you in our country. We don't want you. I mean, Ilhan Omar and the people from Somalia, they hate our country. And they think we're stupid people, which actually, when they allow that to happen, they are. That's headed by Governor Walz, one of the dumber people around. No, but think of it. He's given not like peanuts, billions. These are people that don't work in their own country. Their own country's a failure. They have no money there. And yet they come into our country and steal tens of billions of dollars. How stupid are we to allow that to happen? They can't earn 10 cents in their country. They come over here and rob. Are we that easy? Are we that easy to allow a thing like that to happen? That's up to you.
That can get his voters back out. That can get his voters back out. That did not upset, in my opinion, women. That's what he needs to do. I thought that was fine. Most Americans know that these people are coming into the country. They don't assimilate. We don't know the dangers. We got a guy that came in from Afghanistan through the CIA, just killed National Guard. We've got illegals that killed Laken Riley. We got an illegal that killed the young lady, the Ukrainian lady on the bus. We have stuff all the time. That could get his voters back out. So why? Pay attention. Why? Now, last but not least, 109, they want to go to war. They do. They want war. U.S. likely to get revised peace plan today. Now, Europeans want war. They've always wanted, give me number 12. They've always wanted war. Over here in Kiev, give me number, right, there's the land. Zelensky said, no land. Nope, not giving you any land. Number 40, I don't know, I might have the wrong number. I pulled out the wrong, 46, sorry, Diane, I think it's my fault. 46, right? No land. Kiev, Trump's new security doctrine gives Putin exactly what he wants. No, Russia won the war. They won the war. Number 47. Zelensky ready to hold elections during war if partners ensure security. Well, hell, I mean, I guess we could send Fulton County over there and Ryan, Germany. You don't know who that is. Give me number 48. Russia only option for West to prolong Ukraine conflict. Now, robbing Russia only out. Now, Moscow will retaliate. They know. Now, Moscow's been very clear, and Lavrov here has been very clear they don't want to go to war. They're not asking to go to war with Europe. They said they've never asked to go to war with Europe. Okay? But Europe is doing everything they can to try to keep the war going, prolong the war, start the war. Yes. And you and I know that. You and I know that. Give me number, let me get to the war doctrine. Here's the land 84. Russia wants to carve out this part of Ukraine. They won the war. My God, you can't make that up. Boy, we got a lot to go over tomorrow. Here you go, number 110. 110. They're setting up the war. And let me make sure before I go, I have the last graphic I wanted here. So they're setting up the war. Russia says, if you're going to come in and you're going to leave this guy in place and you think you're going to bring your weapons and stage them and put troops on the ground, and we're not getting the land that we, won in the war, if we have to retaliate, we will. They are actually preparing for war. Now, Trump on Ukraine elections, video 10.
Is it time for Ukraine to hold an election, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a long time. It hasn't been doing particularly well. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's an important time to hold an election. They're using war not to hold an election, but I would think the Ukrainian people would, should have that choice, and maybe Zelensky would win. I don't know who would win, but they haven't had an election in a long time. They talk about a democracy, but it gets to a point where it's not a democracy anymore.
They have to keep that guy in there. We all know how corrupt Ukraine is. Germany, France, UK, Russia has said we're not trying to go to war, but if you push this, it'll happen. Give me number 101 because we got to get ready for the George Hour 101. I want to show you this here. What do you think about social media ban for children under 16 in Australia? What's your thought about that? The social media ban for children in Australia under 16. 121. Pay attention to this right here. Republicans and Democrats trying to, two proposals aim to address healthcare cost. So pay attention to these right here. Numbers 107, the Senate GOP plan on expiring Obamacare subsidies, don't extend them. And this is what they have up for 106. GOP senators circulate healthcare framework ahead of vote on Dems' plan. So we're going to have a vote according to the plan. I mean, I think last night, I understand people want Trump to be Trump. But Trump's comments concerning Caroline Leavitt last night, some of his going off the teleprompter, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm serious, it's not the worst thing. But going off the teleprompter, if you talk about healthcare and you have a plan and you talk about affordability and not attack it, and I'm going to be serious, not attack it, and say you have a plan, that will go much better. Much better. But right now, let me show you something. All you have to do in Georgia, let me see what I have here. I have something here I want to show you. Make sure. 31, by calling for elections in Ukraine, Trump makes it clear that he deems Zelensky the main obstacle to peace. All right? Yes. We have to get Zelensky. Zelensky must go or there'll be no peace because Russia wants him gone. So we want elections. Wonder if they'll be rigged. Just wondering. If we'll get rigged elections. I had another one I wanted to pull up for you here as we're looking at don't forget number 12. The next push on AI is for the government to approve and put in place humanoids, robots. Yes, robots are coming for your job, and the administration is preparing to let it happen. I had one here I wanted to show you concerning, give me 17. I had one here concerning, and then we'll go here. I got it here. After Republican unity crumbles as America's mood sours. And give me number 30. We are getting ready to our Department of Energy. No, I'm sorry. This is the one. The U.S. military to use Google Gemini for new AI platform. This is one you want to take notice of. Here it is, number 32. All right. Number 32 is right here. The Washington Free Beacon exclusive Trump Energy Department to finance up to 10 nuclear reactors to kickstart nuclear energy renaissance. This is for the data centers. We're getting ready to loan and finance 10 nuclear reactors around the country. So at 10 o'clock will be the Georgia hour. Now I'm going to get out a couple minutes early for a reason. I got some things I want to prepare because at 10 o'clock we're going to have the Georgia hour. At 10:30, David Cross is going to be with us. I've got to wrap up some things on some video. I've got to have some things ready. You do not want to miss. I want to give you time. I want to give you time for 10 o'clock to get your neighbors, your friends, anyone in America. I'm making this announcement. Anyone in America that wants to see Fulton County 2020 elections, an attorney general's office that's been put on notice of an investigation. You don't want to miss this nationally. Seriously, you call Mike Lindell. I'm not joking. Call Mike Lindell, 10 o'clock. Call anyone around the country and get them tuned in by 10 o'clock. I'll be right back. Diane, we're going to get out a little early so I can get some stuff ready. I'm going to be sending you some markers, some time markers for some video 5, so you know. And David Cross will be with us at 10:30. We'll see you at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. Diane, take us out.
It's Santa's final clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save up to $10,000 off 2025 Chevy Suburbans or up to $8,000 off Chevy Tahoes. But hurry, Santa's final clearance will be gone in a flash. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we put the days in the holidays.
Days gets it done.
Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
It's Santa's final clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save up to $10,000 off 2025 Chevy Suburbans or up to $8,000 off Chevy Tahoes. But hurry, Santa's final clearance will be gone in a flash. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we put the days in the holidays. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
It's Santa's final clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save up to $10,000 off 2025 Chevy Suburbans or up to $8,000 off Chevy Tahoes. But hurry, Santa's final clearance will be gone in a flash. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we put the days in the holidays. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching the Georgia Hour. It is time for the Georgia Hour, brought to you by voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. Now, Diane, I've got a couple breaks here that I'm going to give you on video 5. From start to finish, let me give you this before we start. From start to finish, I might stop it. There's some dead air. We're going to jump from 1425 to 1458. We lose about 30 seconds of dead air that I don't want to leave. Then we're going to stop at 21 minutes and 35 seconds and come back at 25:20. And when I get finished with the tape, we'll bring Mr. Cross in. All right. And I'll let you know. I'm your host, BKP. It's time for the Georgia Hour. Now, yesterday, the Georgia State Election Board.
Hey, Brian, can you go over the first break? I have my first break at 14:25.
Yeah, but it's only dead air, and I want to jump back to 1458.
Okay,
that's the space I want.
You broke up, so I didn't hear.
Yeah. Okay. That's dead air where the microphone's not working at the SEB. Now, for 5 years, SEB 2022-05 finally came to light concerning tabulator tapes in Fulton County. Now, I'm not going to, for the first half hour, I'm going to let most of the video do the talking. All right. And I'm going to stop and probably make 1 or 2 comments, 8 or 9 seconds, and then start again. So here is number 45. This is Dr. Janice Johnston. Dr. Janice Johnston. She is the vice chair. She chaired the meeting yesterday. All right. Dr. Janice Johnston chaired the meeting yesterday, did an amazing job. Now, give me number 44. Now, the chairman of the Georgia State Election Board, John Favera, however you pronounce his last name, he was not there. No. He just sent a message the other night and said, I won't be there. Okay. So then, is it Susan Grisal? All right. The Democrat, Miss Grisal, is that her name? She was not there. They didn't want their name on this, I guess. So you have in the hat there, you have Mr. Jeffries. You have in the red, you have Dr. Janice Johnston, and then we all know our good friend Janelle King, but that's a quorum. So yesterday, we've been waiting for this case. Give me number 52. David Cross presents this case. Unsigned, missing, and duplicated series number tabulator tape complaints. Now, we have the complete series, but in the interest of time, we're going to play the video. And Diane, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video from time to time, and then we start right back, and I'll give you the high sign to stop it, all right? As this case is being called, SB 2022-015, as this is being called, what you're first going to see is Fulton County stand up and say, uh-oh. Yeah, they weren't signed. Yeah, but we've got new people. We got new people, and we got a new building, and this was only a presidential election, and David Perdue's race and Kelly Loeffler's race. So we're going to start there for the first 30 minutes here. Basically, you're going to watch yesterday's presentation, Dr. Janice Johnston, David Cross, Fulton County, and Janelle King. And Diane, watch for me to say take a break and just stop right there. Let's play the tape.
Next case, Fulton County tabulation issue 2022-015. Fulton County is the respondent. Is there a representative of Fulton County? Yes. Afternoon.
This is my good afternoon for the next 10 or 15 cases.
Yeah. Sticking with you here.
I've not seen the tapes myself, but we do not dispute that the tapes were not signed. It was a violation of the rule. Since 2020, again, we have new leadership and a new building and a new board and new standard operating procedures. And since then, the training has been enhanced. The poll watchers are trained specifically. They've got to sign the tapes in the morning and they've got to sign the tapes when they're run at the end of the day. When the tapes come back to the hub for, with all the documentation, they are checked again. And if somebody forgot to sign a tape, then Fulton initiates an investigation. But we don't dispute the allegation from the 2020 election.
All right. Now stop there. You're about to hear this laid out. She makes it very simple. Well, we got new people in place. We got a new building. We don't dispute it, but we've made all the necessary changes. It was only a presidential election during the COVID years. It was only early voting. It was only we've put some checks and balances in place, a couple rule violations, but we're good now. We don't dispute. Now keep that in mind. They do not dispute they weren't signed. Now listen to Mr. Cross present for the next 5 minutes this case. Carry on, Diane.
And the complainant is here. Would the complainant like to speak?
Yes. It's on the desk, the red button.
Good grief, I'm going to have to sit down. All right, you've got some exhibits I'm giving to you up there. Good afternoon, board members. My name is David Cross. I filed this complaint in March of 2022 with the State Election Board, documenting systemic violations of Georgia law in Fulton County's handling of advanced voting in 2020. Our group paid Fulton County $15,800 in an open records request, where the county turned over 77 megabytes of records, every tabulator tape representing 315,000 votes. The state election rules are crystal clear. On page 2, you'll see the Georgia Rule 183-1-12.112 or .12 requires every Dominion tabulator to print exactly 3 tapes at the close of each advanced voting day. All 3 tapes must be witnessed and signed by 3 poll workers, or their reason for refusal must be noted. 1 signed tape goes on the polling place door. The second goes on goes in a sealed envelope with a memory card, and the third goes in an envelope with a polling place recap form. These signed tapes are the sole legal certification that the reported totals are authentic. Fulton County produced 0 signed tabulator tapes in early voting, as you just heard. Not 1 for early voting. Every signature block is blank. 10 of these unsigned tabulator tapes are from Mr. Rossi and Mr. Moncala's SEB 2022-025 case on page 3. We found identical protective counters across several different polling places, polls that were opened 8 days late, polls closed at impossibly late hours like 2:09 a.m. in the morning, and poll closing times that do not match the tapes on pages 4 and 5. On pages 6, 7, 11, and 12, we found duplicated scanner serial numbers where the memory devices were removed from one scanner and printed on an alternate scanner. These are not clerical errors. They are catastrophic breaks in chain of custody and certification. Because no tape was ever legally certified, Fulton County had no lawful authority to certify its advanced voting results to the Secretary of State. Yet it did. And Secretary Raffensperger accepted and folded those uncertified numbers into Georgia's official total without questioning them. This is not partisan. This is statutory. This is the law. When the law demands 3 signatures on tabulator tapes and the county fails to follow the rules, those 315,000 votes are, by definition, uncertified. Fulton County's deliberate or grossly negligent destruction of the audit trail for more than 315,000 votes is a national disgrace. The only honest remedy 5 years later is for the state election board to impose sanctions on Fulton County, have them publicly acknowledge their violations, and for the state to decertify Fulton County's 2020 advanced voting results. It's not to change who sits in the White House or what the score was, but instead to place an indelible and permanent asterisk on the record and finally force accountability. It is very clear from today's testimony that there are numerous technological issues plaguing Georgia voter systems that could be remedied by hand-marked, hand-counted paper ballots. Counted by human beings, not computers. I still have dozens of serious complaints in these folders here that have not yet seen the light of day, and Georgians still have no answers to the basic questions, which is, why has the Secretary of State not acted? Why has the Attorney General stalled for years? Why has no one been held accountable? And when will Governor Kemp finally step up and lead on securing Georgia's elections? Until those questions are answered and these violations are officially recognized, trust in our elections will remain broken. In closing, I respectfully request that you refer this matter to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice, and I believe the maximum civil penalty is $5,000 per unsigned tabulator tape violation, assessed after notice and a hearing under Georgia Administrative Procedures Act. These penalties can be enforced by the Attorney General and Superior Court, along with orders for compliance, restitution, reprimands, training, and investigative cost. There are 134 unsigned tabulator tapes. That would be a fine of $670,000. I know it's a lot of money, but apparently it doesn't hurt enough for Fulton County to follow the rules. Thank you, and I'll take your questions.
All right, now we're going to come right back. 15,800 spent. Okay, this is an open records request. There's 10 tabulator tapes missing. They're not all there. All right, and this is all laid out. Every bit of this, Mr. Cross lays out. Now, keep in mind, laws over here there doesn't seem to be a need to follow these laws in Fulton County. But all we ever heard was we have to certify. The Georgia Supreme Court said you got to certify. The governor said you got to certify. Everybody says you got to certify. That's the law. But these laws over here, well, whatever. And we're going to show, you're seeing it in black and white. Now, listen to Dr. Janice Johnston. Let's go forward.
If you have any.
Mr. Cross, I have a question. Do you know how many memory cards there were for early voting in Fulton County?
In Fulton County, I believe there was 134.
148. Do you know how many closing tapes were found?
We received 134 that were unsigned. That doesn't mean we got them all, but that's what Fulton County provided.
138. There are 10 missing. I reviewed the exhibits that go with this complaint. And there were 2 CDs, and you still have to find a CD player still, but the images were provided for me, thankfully. And the images of the zero tapes were from only zero tapes from some early voting, not all the early voting tabulators, but some early voting tabulators. The closing tapes that were provided on another CD were from election day tabulators.
Correct.
There were no bracketed opening, closing tapes and closing tabulator tapes in the entire exhibit. So the investigators asked for all of the tabulator tapes, and there's a smattering of tabulator tapes. So you can't see where the odometer starts at 0 when the poll opens, and the odometer ends at 3,542 votes when the poll closes. Every single person that reviews and canvasses the election must have the opening zero tape and the closing of the poll tape side by side to compare the date, the time, the protective counter number, the serial number of the tabulator. It must be closed on the same tabulator, or you've broken the chain of custody, and the votes cannot be guaranteed to be valid.
Correct.
Okay, because that is the one document that promises what's in the ballot box. That we don't count the ballots, but what's in the ballot box is the right number. So if you open on a tabulator, but you close on a different tabulator, not going to work. It's a break in the chain of custody.
Correct.
So I find this case very troubling. It was about signing the documents, but as I looked at the evidence, I was just trying to put the puzzle together and say, well, these aren't signed, but what's this from? And then I tried to match it up to what the opening and the closing together. I couldn't find it. I just couldn't find it. It's not there. And so I go back to the report and I read the report, and the investigator says, we asked for all of the opening and closing tapes. And the county reported back, this is all they have, which is woefully incomplete. And I just don't understand how one could even provide a canvas document to say, here are tabulators and here are the votes, and these add up to X number for the election. So I find several issues about this case troubling. Are there questions from other board members?
I wanted to just, for those who are not familiar with what you mean when you talk about the odometer, basically what's being said is if the tabulator doesn't produce a 0, that means that there's no way of telling if there were ballots from previous elections still on that memory card that could be counted. But we wouldn't know, because we wouldn't know who to ask, because there's no signatures. And we certainly wouldn't know where it started, because there's no opening data. And when we are closing on a different tabulator machine or scanner machine, now we have an issue with whether or not the results when we close were accurate. So I guess my question is, and then we have missing tapes where we have no idea what's on those. So I guess my question is, what was certified?
That's my question too. I don't think that Fulton County should have. I don't think that Fulton County had the ability to certify what they counted in 2020. And I've been called crazy for the last.
Okay. He's been called crazy. Tabulator tapes. There's no zero. There's no odometer. We don't know. We do not know. Now, these people, Janelle King, Dr. Janice Johnston, these are very intelligent people. They're just reviewing this case. And this has totally been swept under the rug. You cannot look at these tabulator tapes. You don't have the zero. We'll have Mr. Cross talk about it. Now, he's been called crazy for 5 years. Go back to this.
5 years because I said this. But the reality is that you can't duplicate anything from the documentation that Fulton County has provided, not just in this case, but in a litany of others. And I sincerely hope that you exact a huge price from Fulton County because, as I said before, I don't think it hurts enough. We're still being told today that they don't feel like they need to provide anything to the Department of Justice. I mean, they got a letter from Harmeet Dillon recently, and they just kind of said, well, we disagree, and we're not going to send you anything.
So basically, we have members of the public who have spent 5 years of their life, thousands of dollars, to obtain just proof that what they're being told is what happened. That's what these documents are supposed to be. And yet we have no proof, or at least if we do have it, it's not being provided, it's being held. And yet you're crazy? Well, I guess my question for Fulton County is, do we have the additional tapes that are missing?
Move to 1458. That's where the dead space is. Sorry about that, Diane.
Fulton County has spent hours and hours hours and hours, probably days and weeks, searching this stuff. They've provided what they can. And like I said, I'm not disputing the allegations here. I'm not.
Yeah. So you're saying that it's possible that the tapes are lost or destroyed?
I think that in 2325, which is not here.
Yeah.
Yes, there were 10 tapes from 10 scanners that were never recovered. Now, this case is about tapes that are not signed, which is a violation of a rule, not a statute, but it's a violation of a rule. They should have done it. I haven't been able to go through and look at the tapes and compare and see what is there and what isn't there. But I can tell you from SCB 2325, there are 10 tapes, 10 scanner tapes that were not found. But my understanding is everything else was turned over. And this is about tapes that weren't signed. Like I said,
yeah,
they weren't signed, they weren't signed. So, we will not, like I said, procedures have been updated. People are taking this very seriously now.
They're taking it very seriously now. Don't get caught off guard. They are taking it seriously now. But keep this in mind, what you heard her say from Fulton County. The 10 tapes. Now, here's where they tie together. Mr. Cross's open records request is for all the tapes. All the tapes. That's the open records request that this case is based on. The open records request, all the tapes. The 10 are missing. As you hear, Fulton County acknowledges case 23025. And that is SEB 2023-025, as we know it very well as the Joe Rossi, Kevin Moncla case. She's tying the two together. And what she's doing is those two cases, because 025, 23025 is going to come up today with Joe Rossi there in the room. She's tying them together because she's admitting that those 10 tapes are in that case. All right, very important. While they're also left out of the open records request from Mr. Cross on case 2022-015. We just found the tie of those two. Keep going, Diane.
So what is the certification requirement? I know according to the new law now, you have to certify even if there's missing tapes. I get it. Even if the data's wrong, even if we have elections like we saw in Oakwood, where there's clearly been some improprieties where the board members do not want to certify. But according to the law, you got to do it anyway. And God forbid you challenge it. God forbid you say, you know what? I don't have all the data. You still got to certify in the state of Georgia. That's insanity. I think we need to just go ahead and call it what it is. Because for 5 years, there have been people that have said, I just have questions. That's all. I have questions. Something seems off. We're supposed to be able to verify that the election results that was provided are accurate. And now here we are 5 years later, and we're hearing that we're missing 10 tapes that can't be found. And we're looking at data that was certified without a signature. At best, this is sloppy and it's lazy. At worst, it could be egregious and it could have affected an election. So, yeah, this is terrible. This is just terrible. Okay, I'm done.
So let me point out on this this slide up this.
And then this was 2022, and we're just hearing this case.
I was going to bring a birthday cake.
This is a primer for everybody that's watching this meeting and it works in elections. It especially works in an election office. The people that review the election results, the superintendent, the board of elections for the counties should have an opening tape on the left and a closing tape on the right for every scanner that is counting ballots, that is accepting or receiving ballots. And the tape on the left is a zero tape. And the odometer is what's called the protective counter. As you can see on this slide, 3134 is the number. That's the total number of ballots that have been run through this tabulator. But that's your odometer. It's like your odometer in the car. And when the election's over and the ballots have been put through that scanner and dropped into the ballot box, the odometer increments up. One ballot, one number up till the election is closed. The election is over. The poll place is closed. The tabulator is closed and the tape is run, and it increments up just like you see on the right tape. There were 627 ballots scanned, and the odometer, the protective counter, goes up by 627. Correct. That is the proof that you started with 0 ballots, hopefully 0 paper ballots in the ballot box, but we don't count those. And you end up with 627 ballots in the ballot box, which will be translated into votes and uploaded onto the election management server. But the people that are reviewing the election.
All right, Diane, can you go to, we got to get Mr. Cross in, but I want the people at home to hear, and we'll post this entire video for you to watch. Can you go to 3350? 3350. We're going to play it out. We've got Mr. Cross waiting here at 10:30, but I want you to hear the end of this so we can bring him in of what was referred to the Attorney General's office. If you can get it to 3350 and play the tape.
I do believe that we have the right to request to see all of the tapes, considering that was the original request in the open records request. What we're dealing with today is what we have, because that's all that was provided. So I would like to make a motion that we continue this case to January and give Fulton County the opportunity to provide us with all of the tapes.
We have given everything they could find.
Does that mean you don't have it?
If they haven't provided it previously, they don't have it. They haven't found it. I can't tell you what happened to those 10 missing tapes, but all I can tell you is 10 tapes were deemed missing over a year and a half ago. They are still missing, and we have given you everything else. So I would ask that this not be continued. It is abundantly clear to me that you have serious concerns about this. So make whatever decision you want to make today, and we have another 10 cases to do. So
Okay. All right, I would like to amend my motion. And I make the motion that we send this to the Attorney General's office so that they can request the case and the tapes, as well as for the tabulator tapes that we have, that we do have, that shows that there was a violation, meaning they were not signed. I would like to send a request to the AG's office to issue a fine in the amount of $5,000 for per tape.
There's been a motion and a second to refer this case to the Attorney General concerning 2022-015 for violation of Rule 183-1-12-0.12A1, tabulating results. Is there any discussion?
No.
No further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
All right. Case SEB 2022-015 just left the building, headed over to the Attorney General's office, Chris Carr, and we will follow it there. Let's bring in Mr. David Cross. Let's bring him in if he's ready. Mr. Cross, sorry to hold you over. I wanted to lay a lot of groundwork and let people see some core things that took place yesterday. Before I turn this over to you, I want to thank you on behalf of everybody out there that hasn't given up, that has continued to have hope and know there's people out there that won't stop trying to get the actual results and what happened in 2020 here in Georgia 5 years. So I want to say thank you on behalf of all of them. And I know there's a lot that want to say, my God, I think in year 3, I would have just quit. I mean, in year 4, what were you thinking? You know, I'm serious. I mean, I could tell watching at home. I don't get to go downtown because of the time they have the hearing, but I could tell watching at home, like on the screen, that Janelle King, board member Janelle King's like taken back, like, wait a minute, 5 years and you've been called crazy. Mr. Cross, thank you for being here. Let's go right into it. I want to give you the floor on what you want to go over as far as this case yesterday and what you want to lay out to the audience.
Sure. So, Brian, thank you. And first of all, I have been inundated with telephone calls and text and emails and messages of people, thanking me. And the reality is that I'm just the mouthpiece for this particular complaint. I work very closely with Kevin Monkley. He did a lot of the heavy lifting on this. I worked with a lot of people across the world, actually. working on these cases, and my job is to go and participate and be there and be the voice and help synthesize the story so that we can convey it to people in a way that's just easy to understand. So it's I appreciate your appreciation, but it's a team effort for sure. With regard to what was happening with this case, it's really interesting that we made this complaint back in March of 22, and almost I want to say within 3 or 4 weeks or so, we had received an inquiry back from the Secretary of State's investigative office, and Kevin and I both responded to an investigator, and we're sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to take this seriously. This is going to go someplace. And then nothing. Nothing. It got buried. What we discovered is that the Secretary of State's investigative group in election issues they don't have a process for trying to figure out, is this an egregious complaint, or is this a tiny little complaint that we need to? They had no way to prioritize, and it wasn't until just recently that I think the state election board members, Janelle King and Dr. Johnston and the new executive director said, "Hey, we know there's a lot of cases out there. Where are we with these things?" And so they finally got the list to try and figure out what's going on. And yesterday was a seminal moment. It was a shot across the bow again with Fulton County. And I think there's going to be even more today. Joe Rossi he just called me. He's on the way, into the building. I think right now he's going to be probably presenting, some additional details on his case. So it's a team effort. And it's been a long way coming, and even Hank Sullivan this morning said, I know that you and Sean have dealt with an awful lot on this, and he said, I want to thank both of you, particularly your election widow.
All right, I want to cover a couple things that took place yesterday when you bring that up. So at first, when you guys entered the case and put it together, you got the impression by some of the feedback that, hey, this thing is moving. And folks, for those at home, I'm just going to make an example. This is not one of the cases, but it was almost like you would hear, okay, our next case is so-and-so county. You turned your machines on 8 minutes before you were supposed to, and a violation has been filed, right? It's stuff like that you hear, a backlog of cases, not minimizing. And then there's this case, like, oh, it's in that stack over there, right? I mean, it's like in 5 years, like it's in that stack over there. Oh, let's dust it off. It could have implications of an election. I actually, when I say the word enjoy, I actually enjoy Fulton County more than anybody standing up and saying, oh, but we put new procedures in place. We got a new building. They have to go in this line. We've done some training. I'm sitting here. I'm just flabbergasted. Like, I know you're not saying this, right? So, yeah. and you also, we can see you on the screen. You're trying to hold back a little. Like, are you joking, making these statements? Tell us a little more. Let's get into the tapes. Diane, is there a way, I didn't tell you I was going to do this, is there a way you can put up like number 54? I'd like to go with 54, 55, and 56, and then let's say 62, and see if Mr. Cross, I'm supposed to tell Diane that ahead of time. See, there, boy, just like that. What are we seeing on the screen here? These are some of the examples from yesterday, David.
Yeah, so this is just one example. So for anybody who doesn't know about this, if you've never worked as a poll manager or worked in a poll, just very briefly, what you do is at the beginning of the day, you print out a tape off the machine that says 0 votes have been counted, right now, and it'll tell you what the odometer reading is, like, how many ballots that machine has counted thus far in its life. But it will also tell you that 0 votes have been counted today. So you print that tape out, you go about your business, and at the end of the day, you're going to print out 3 tapes that give you all the results, and it'll tell you it's a tabulation that tells you, who got how many votes, in each one of these different contests, and at the end of it, or at the top of it, it'll tell you how many votes total that the scanner processed, right? And then down at the bottom, there's a place on the right-hand side of the screen up here where you're supposed to have 3 signatures. You're supposed to have the poll manager sign, the assistant poll manager sign, and another witness. And that just ensures that those people are swearing that they saw that tape come out of that machine. Now, what's really interesting about the tape we have right now is that you can see at the top here, it says, "We, the undersigned election officials, hereby certify the above election was held in accordance with the Local Authority Election Act and regulations of this jurisdiction." Now, later on, that just seems like innocuous language, but we later on learned that that's referring to Canadian law. So there's nothing on there about Georgia law. So that's kind of funny. But in these tapes for Fulton County, they had advanced voting, early voting. And at the end of early voting, you're supposed to print out these tapes. And we should have had 148 tapes for all the different locations that handled early voting. That covered 315,000 ballots that were cast. And all of those tapes look like this, with the exception of the 10 that are missing in the Rossi case, 2023025. In the Moncla Rossi case, there are 10 tapes that just vanished. They just ceased.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Let me make just what I would call a correction. That's in the Rossi case. Those 10 tapes. Those 10 tapes are also in your case, based on the fact that your open records request said all tabulator tape. Correct.
Correct.
So realistically, those 10 missing tapes that they acknowledge are out there somewhere, or did exist at one time, or maybe did, whatever happened. But they are 10 that do not fill your open records request.
Correct.
So that's where I'm making a little bit of a tie between the two cases. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. The cases are totally tied together. So, it's essentially what happens is when you're supposed to have these 3 people swear on each one of these devices that the ballots were counted properly, and you have nobody that signed anything. I don't know why. I don't know if Fulton County said, if they had their instructors for the election just tell people, hey, don't sign these things. I don't know how or why it happened. All I know is that it did happen, and that it did happen makes it so that Fulton County's election results cannot be duplicated or replicated with the files they have on hand. If you go to another county and you request these documents, you should be able to take what they turn in and tie that back to what the results are, and you should be able to replicate that election with all the documentation. The way Fulton County is you can't replicate anything. Zero. And we're at the point right now where Fulton County is just telling us, you saw that lady, she said, hey, we got nothing. We don't even want to talk about this anymore. We want it to go away.
I'm going to just say she did not quote, but she basically said, do what you got to do. do what you got to do. Okay. You can ask us to fill the open records request. They're not out there. David, tell us, we have here poll closed at 1:56 a.m. November 4th instead of 9, duplicate serial numbers. You have this quite often on the tabulator tapes that are unsigned, just real erratic times and duplicate serial numbers. Explain. Give me this one here. Diane, number 55, if you can move it over, because these are actual exhibits. These are actual exhibits. Here's another one, David. What does the timestamp match right here?
Yeah, so the timestamp at the bottom of that page is saying that it was printed out at a different time that doesn't match for the poll closing or when the report was printed. We don't know why that happened. If you could go back to the previous slide, I want to point something out on that one. that essentially what you're seeing is that, so this poll closed at 1:56 a.m. on November 4th. Now, for anybody who's worked in an election before, it's a long, long, long day. I mean, I was a poll manager in Gwinnett County, and I had to be at the polling place to open it up at 5:30 in the morning, drag out all the machines, get the reports printed, get everything all set. And the end of the day, the poll closes for everybody at 7 p.m. That's the last votes, right? If you're not in there by 7 o'clock, not counting unless there's a judge's order. And then you have roughly like an hour and a half or so to close down things, print that report. So this report should have been printed maybe like around 8:30 or so, 8:30 p.m., maybe 9 o'clock at the latest. Why it's being printed out at 2 o'clock in the morning the next day, we don't know. I can speculate that maybe what they did was they took the compact flash card from this particular device and shoved it into another machine and printed it out there. But here again, even if they did that, you can only print out these reports from the machine that the ballots were counted on. That's how you keep an election secure, at least with all these electronics.
Diane, let's go to 57 because I'm getting questions from the audience and we're going to try to answer as many questions. This one here is part of the presentation where exactly 3 tapes of the tabulator results, they're duplicate serial numbers on these tapes.
Right. If you have you got the next slide, Brian?
Yeah, go to the next one, 58. I think 58 is the next. Yes.
Yeah. So this one's the same one as before, but it's zoomed in. What you're seeing here is there's a red box around the unit serial number. The serial number is just like the VIN number on your car. It's a unique serial number for that particular tabulator. There should only be one tabulator tape for each location. The location is up at the top where it says tabulator name. So on the far right hand side, it says Metropolitan Library. The one to the left of that says Welcome Atlanta Rec Center. The one in the middle says OC Library. Each one of those locations should have its own unique serial number. There's no way on earth that you would have duplicate serial numbers unless somebody took the compact flash cards out, got down to central processing, jammed them into a machine, printed them out on that machine, took the card out, put another card in, printed out, and went through and came up with these 5 different tapes. This makes the election in Fulton County uncertifiable. And it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, doesn't matter if you're Republican, doesn't matter if you're independent. I don't care what your politics are. This is an uncertifiable election. This is the way things are done in banana republics. This is not the way that things should be done in the United States of America.
This is nonpartisan, and that's where it kind of gets upsetting because, I know throughout the years you've been called an election denier, and I, among many other things, sorry to say that you've been called election denier, and usually if any publication writes an article about you, I mean, they describe you first before they even put your name in there. David Cross, election denier, claims Joe Biden didn't win. We've always really just wanted the results. We haven't made a real claim. We don't think in Georgia we can make any claim based on things like this. So we haven't really claimed someone won, lost. We're still waiting for the results in the state based on the laws in Georgia. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, and Brian, that's a critical point because when I started this thing, I initially was coming from the standpoint of the Republicans are good and they're good people and the Democrats cheated and we're going to figure out how the dirty Democrats rigged the election, right? I am way, way, way beyond that. Where we are today is that we know that there's about 13 or 14 different ways that elections can be gamed with the electronic system that we have in Georgia. And again, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. I don't care if you always vote, for your crazy uncle. the reality is that our elections in Georgia are not secure. They are not they're not perfect, and honestly, the best way to count our elections is to throw all this machinery out, melt it all down for scrap, and use hand-marked, hand-counted paper ballots that are counted by human beings on high-definition cameras, the same way they do it in Japan, the same way they do it in Taiwan, the same way they do it in a number of nations. But as it stands right now, we have a banana republic system, and it doesn't matter who owns it.
Okay, you presented, and folks, this is entire presentation that the Board of Elections received by Mr. Cross with this violation, SEB 2022-015. Give me 59. Here are the violations that you have highlighted. Tell us what you have here.
Okay, so again, I'll just read it right off the screen. Because the flashcards were replaced in violation of the rules, the seals could not have matched and should have triggered in the course of action, shown below. And basically what it says is that the election superintendent is responsible for making sure that tabulation is done properly. And if it's not done, then he's supposed to notify the Secretary of State, let them know what the problem is. We have multiple violations of rules. And these, it says 183, 114, 0.02. I know it gets, into the weeds with looking at this stuff. But again, if the top says the memory card shall remain in the ballot scanners at all times during advance voting until the polls close on the day of the primary election or runoff. And then you print out those darn reports. You don't close down the poll, yank the cards out of the machines and send them downtown, to be printed out downtown, which is potentially what may have happened here. And the problem is that you're losing chain of custody, because on the drive to take those things down, down there, any number of things can happen. It should only take maybe 40 minutes to get them downtown. In some cases, what you're seeing is that these cards were printed out, or those reports were printed out, at 2 o'clock in the morning.
All right, two other areas before we run, and I can't say how much I appreciate it. And I'm glad we're breaking this down, and I want you to know the audience is very thankful. I'm getting messages saying thank you very much as we're on the show here. All right, so give me your top moments yesterday with the actual board. We do know the chairman was not there, and we do know the Democrat, Sarah Gazal, I think her name is, she was not there, but you did have a quorum. You had a quorum. You have to have 3. So you had Janelle King, Dr. Janice Johnston, the executive director of the State Board of Elections, and Jeffers, the other Republican on there appointed. What were some of the standouts to you that came back to you from Janelle King, Dr. Janice Johnston, or what you heard yesterday?
So I'm excited that they're taking bold action. And as I said in my speech yesterday, I said, you folks really need to hit them with a maximum fine, because apparently in Fulton County it doesn't hurt enough for them to follow the rules. There are 2 other things that happened yesterday. The executive director, I'm blanking out on his name right this second, but the executive director was moved when he was speaking. You could tell that here's a man who probably thought our elections are totally secure, everything's fine, and then his service, in this board, I think he's come to the conclusion that maybe they're not, and the people that are really violating the rules the worst is Fulton County. And he said he's absolutely sick of seeing Fulton County be the embarrassment of the state, which is exactly what's happened. I thought that was interesting. I thought it was very interesting that Fulton County basically said, we're done. Don't ask us for any more files. Just do what you're going to do. And to my mind, I honestly think that Fulton County should have their election card pulled and make it so that we have maybe the Army Reserves conduct elections. I think that they would. I mean, those are people that are accustomed to following orders, following instructions, following rules. I think they could probably do a better job for us. So there's a lot. But the last thing I'll leave you with, Brian, is that. So I've got files with this. There's probably 200 more pages here of documentation. Still more cases that have not been heard, and I'm excited for the fact that we had some movement yesterday after a long period of time, and hopefully we're going to see even more movement. And it's going to be coming from the work of the team.
Let me say this on the Fulton County. I mean, her opening was a total admission. Okay, it was a total admission, and folks at home. If you would watch the state election board as they go through cases, really it takes 2 or 3 minutes to present the case, and then it takes 1 or 2 minutes for someone, a defendant in the audience, to say, well, we made a mistake, we made our changes, we put this safeguard in place, and it's pretty simple, and the State Board of Election accepts that and moves on. That's how Fulton County wanted to make this sound like this is a minor thing. We don't have it. We admit to it. We admit they're not signed. We're sorry they're not signed. We'll do better next time. I am not going to be able to get over I don't know if I ever will, her 3 minutes there of like, after a RICO case, after millions and millions of dollars spent in legal fees, after the list goes on, you stand up for 3 minutes and say, well, if President Trump called and said, look for 11,780 votes, it's not like they couldn't be out there. I'm like, what? I mean, this is not partisan at all. But what everyone has been through for her to just stand up and say, yeah, we got 100 and some tapes, never signed. We'll try better next time. Excuse me? Now, let's close with this. I am making this enormous for a reason. Chris Carr is the Attorney General of Georgia. Chris Carr is seeking to be the next governor of the state of Georgia. Now, not going into great detail, but our Attorney General's office basically has not touched this at all, 2020, because the governor certified and one thing after another, but now they have a case in their office. They have something in their office. The Attorney General of Georgia, Chris Carr, could actually move on this and look at it because it's in his office. To me, this is enormous to me.
It absolutely is enormous, because one of the things I asked for was that we have an asterisk on the election results in Georgia for 2020 for this specific purpose, but it was uncertifiable. We don't know for sure what happened, and we cannot replicate it. And I think that's the beginning. I think that's the starting point for our government in Georgia to admit the fact that we have a system that's fallible. And for anybody out there who's watching, what you need to understand is that when you have election machinery that is fallible, that is hackable, that has so many opportunities for gaming the system, it means that our elected officials have an opportunity to cheat in order to be able to get into office. And it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican or anybody else. It opens up the field to make it so that we don't have confidence to know that our votes counted. And hackable elections are nothing more than job security for politicians. And it's time for the people to take that job security back.
All right. SEB 2023-025 is on the agenda today. I just want to share with you guys out there. I spoke to Mr. Joe Rossi last night. And Mr. Joe Rossi asked me, he said, please pray for me today. So I'm going to extend that to everyone out there. Joe Rossi is asking for your prayers. He is an engineer. He's a brilliant man. He's an amazing guy. He's a patriot. He's just quality all the way around. But when he gets in that room and he gets put on the stand, more or less, he gets nervous. He admittedly says he gets nervous. So he asked for prayers. David, this yesterday may have opened a door that today could be enormous also, correct?
Yes. Yes, it does. It absolutely does.
Thank you very much. We'll wait for the end of the day, folks. We'll come back tomorrow and follow up. I know David's going to be watching it, and we'll get back tomorrow as far as the SB 2023-025. Janelle King asked for a fine of $5,000 per tape. What did that come to? Did you do the math on that?
I'm the numbers guy. Of course I did. $740,000.
I knew the answer. I knew he did the math. Mr. Cross, thank you very much. I know you're busy. I appreciate taking time out of your day to do this. And I appreciate you taking your time out of your day every time you've been down to the SCB and every day that you thought that this case would come up for 5 years. God bless you. I appreciate you. You have a nice afternoon.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, folks, that is it for us on the Georgia Hour. It is not a dark hole. I do not see this as a dark hole. I don't see it as a dark